Our article title this morning is Engaging the Powers of Darkness, More Than a Prophet. What did you go out into the wilderness to see? A reed shaken by the wind? But what did you go to see? A prophet? Yes, I say to you, and more than a prophet. Jesus asked, did you go out to John's ministry to see a reed shaken by the wind? He says, no, but you went out to see a prophet. But you saw more than a prophet. You saw he of whom it is written, behold, I send my messenger before your face, who will prepare your way before you. John the Baptist was chosen by God for the historic ministry of preparing the way for the Messiah. No other prophet was chosen for this ministry but John. He was not just a prophet, but the voice of one crying in the wilderness, make straight the way of the Lord. As the prophet Isaiah said, he strongly and violently, which means forcefully, opposed hills, valleys, crooked places, rocks, bumps, and even the evil monarch Herod. These are a depiction of evil forces. In Matthew 11:11, Jesus said, assuredly, I say to you, among those born of women, there has not risen one greater than John the Baptist. But he who is least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he. He who is least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he. Jesus is speaking of us when he says he who is least. The least of us are the ones of us who are the least esteemed, are greater in ministry and effectiveness than John the Baptist, who was honored by Jesus as being greater than those born of women. In his letter to the Corinthians, Paul says in 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verses 1 through 4, dare any of you, having a matter against another, go to the law before the unrighteous and not before the saints? Do you not know that the saints will judge the world? And if the world will be judged by you, are you unworthy to judge the smallest of things? Do you not know that we shall judge angels? How much more things that pertain to this life? If then you have judgments concerning things pertaining to this life, do you appoint those who are least esteemed by the church to judge? Likewise, those who are least in the kingdom of heaven are greater in ministry than those of the old covenant. John is greater than those born of women, but we are born of God. For whoever is born of God overcomes the world. In Christ, Pastor Don.